Igama Unjabulo Wagamakubani introducing Bloodless Lifestyle.
Hello and welcome, Men's Conference. I'm leader of the game, and with me, a very respectable gentleman and a lady. Welcome, guys. This sounds like a choir. We're full of life, we're full of energy. It's a beautiful, beautiful day indeed. Welcome. We're talking men, siyadodisana, siyakana. We have lots of issues as men. And kuningi izinto esibhekene nazo, challenges, financial, relationships. There's just so much. There's no better time to talk about it than now. Sanbonani Siyabingelela, bafowethu, and a lady.
Siyabingelela.
Yeah. Just on top of my mind, the question is, what do women want? What women are expecting kuthina as amadoda? Maybe it's such an honor we have a woman okwazi ukuziexpressa yena. Amanda, kunjani? We have issues. Akekho umuntu esimphilela nje umuntu wesifazane. Sifuna ukujabulisa yena. In our moral compass, cabanga nje ukuthi umuntu wesifazane. Sifuna ukushada, sifuna ukuba nemali, sifuna ukuba nemndeni. And you cannot have all that without umuntu wesifazane. Ngempela umuntu wesifazane ufunani emadodeni?
I feel like, personally, as a woman myself, umuntu wesifazane, kumuntu wesilisa, we want more than anything security.
Okay.
We want security and we want protection. You understand? Umuntu wesilisa kumele akwazi ukuthi, when I say provide, I don't only mean financially, but umuntu wesilisa kumele abe provider. You have to be a provider.
But the virtue of you mentioning financially.
Okay, it's there also.
Yeah, okay.
It's there. Thing is, when it comes to the financial side of it, it's sensitive, you know, because now into yokuqala umuntu ayicabangayo ukuthi abantu besifazane bathanda imali.
Okay.
And abantu besifazane, we only get into relationships or we only date for money, of which it's not the case. Maybe partially, but not entirely the case. Now, let me tell you something. You know, I think the environment, nendlela umuntu akhule ngayo, plays a role into umuntu wesilisa oyibona naye. Because mawukhula as intombazane, you grow up amongst abanye abantu besifazane. Mhlawumbe uthola ukuthi uzobuka ukuthi uma umphethe kanjani ubaba, you know, or my sister, usisoma omdala, umkhwenya wakhe umphethe kanjani. So nalezo zinto lezo ziyayidlala indima ekutheni wena uma usukhulile ufuna ukuthi end up nomuntu wesilisa onjani. You understand?
So you want good sex?
Of course, good
you
sex.
You want ukuthi unjabulo abe nabangane aba-right.
Angihlangene nabangane.
Okay.
It's not such a big factor nabangane.
Yeah. Ndabe.
Yes, ma'am.
You probably the voice of reason. Both of you gentlemen, you are the voice of reason. You represent amadoda wonke abukele lolu hlelo manje. Ungathini osekubalile uAmanda?
I'm looking at what Amanda is saying and I'm thinking the millennium woman, the ancient woman, and the postmodern woman. These three different women had different needs influenced by the era, time, space, and the political environment that they were predisposed to. Let's look at the millennium woman now. She's independent, she's high value, she's not a sucker for a woman, for a man's needs. She continuously mirrors herself. She doesn't use a man to mirror herself.
Okay.
She's self-defined, not in pornographic terms, but she's defined at the essence of herself. I have a serious problem with a woman who wants protection, who wants good sex, because I've never understood the whole concept of good sex. To me, it conjures up a via pornography before acceptance, because sex is nothing else but an expression, and it is a synergistic exchange of energies. So two people come together into the space of sex, they come out Performance is not the issue, because the moment you bring in the concept of performance, what standard of sex do you have? Then you move on to the self, the woman. Personally, I believe that a black woman is a god.
Okay.
Yes, I believe that she's a god. She's a mother of earth. She's an inventor from whence everything came out of the black woman. So she holds a power over a lot of things. She's not defined by men. I think the whole psychopathology of defining a woman as a womb man is an insult into the integrity of a woman. How do you describe and define a human being on the basis of a uterus? That's where it all went wrong. Womb man, and the stupid man had to add his own gender in defining the other. I think a woman is a self-replicated evidence of God's manifestation on earth. When God wanted to showcase, it's not he, because God is neither he nor she. When God wanted to showcase its creation, it expressed itself by manifesting and creating a woman. And I strongly believe that after a woman came man. So what does a woman want? Fulfillment, her spirituality, not material things that are sponsored by men. Because the moment you take a woman into the dependency factor, there's going to be control. One of the most disgusting, evil, satanic thing is patriarchy.
Okay.
Honestly, I would prefer a devil than patriarchy. Because with patriarchy, it's where a man chooses to caricature himself and create a control mechanism called a relationship, whence he can control. So let's look at a high value woman. She knows herself, has her essence and worth. In other words, she understands her purpose of being present and living on earth. All that she needs is connecting to another gender for progeny purposes. She doesn't need your wallet if she can do things. If you look at the Militant Woman, she can do things for herself.
Yeah.
She can make money. She can create wealth. She has her desires. She knows her preferences. And those are not predetermined by men.
I've got a lot of questions. So this pregnant statement that you just made, Connie statement of Shield, what's he? After a woman came a man. But I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me get in Unjabulo involved in this one, in this chat. Unjabulo, you've been scribbling notes, writing.
Yeah, see.
Can you just share with us what have you been scribbling?
No, just making notes so that these things was uphendula nami.
Yeah.
Izinto engicabanga ukuthi I mina ngisharisha quite different corner. Firstly, patriarchy, and it's when men are in charge.
Yeah. Falsely speaking, Jabulo, that's when people who had false sense of the self, who suffered from severe inferiority complex, decided that another gender was going to be elevated against them. Let me give you ancient black women. We lived in a matrilineal environment. Matrilineal, where woman was the lawmaker. She chose what she wanted to do. She chose agriculture. She taught men tenderness and sensitivity. She had a right to propose and pick up a man she could mate with. Only 800 years later did the French troubadours introduce something called romance, where now a man had to propose love to a man.
So a Frenchman came up with
No,
this?
troubadours, essayists and poets.
Oh, okay.
They came with the whole thing of flowers, chocolates, and all the garbage that now man is using to define a relationship.
I'm learning here.
Yes, in ancient time,
But also, can
you had to go through. Quickly,
can we focus on now?
No.
Because now, let's be realistic.
That's the problem. That is the
Make
problem.
a
No, that's the problem. When we're gonna jump the reality and focus,
What is reality, Babndaba, is the question.
Reality
reality
is that we are messed up.
Okay.
Because we do not know where we come
Who is
from.
we?
Both men and women in the millennium. Because we do not know where we come from and we do not know where we are going. And the problem is, if you don't take a conscious look at where you come from, it's going to be very, very difficult, Amanda, to fathom even conceive what your future is going to be like.
Mina ngicabanga ukuthi looking back at where we come from, nala siphuma khona abazazi ukuthi baphuma phiko mina ngibesane concentrate kuleyo. It's a waste of time for me. And it's a waste of time for many as well. Currently in situations amanje ngoba as I was saying ukuthi usheshe wamkhatha. Yabona nje ungibona ngamanusi la. I've been having these interviews with ladies and I know what to say. And when security no protection, so it's our beginning.
She's warming up.
She's warming up. Yes, we topic. What else would you like? What's your ideal man? In a sense, no.
But
what's the ideal men that you think women are looking for?
Are you also going to be touching base the way Indo Tibuganga na corner?
You can't say that you're a man. We ain't of next day.
Like njengoba ngisho kuba
uzumuntu umshade uzumshade wena umuntu ufuna itike mapha ama boxes.
Yabo le ngizothi nje ukuthi kancane kule ye good sex. I'm going to be honest with you. Mina personally, mangiba involved in a relationship with someone, akuyona into oqala ifike ekhanda ukuthi I hope this person is good in bed, because it's not important factor kangako. But also when we go deeper kule topic ye sexy njengoba ubamdaba, it's not such an important factor. Ngiyahambelana naye ngibuye futhi ngithi ungahambelani naye because ibalekile. Because njengoba esho ukuthi it's two people making love, you understand. So ngeke uthi wena mawenza ngendlela engangijabulisi singabe ne conversation about that, because it's not just about jumping into bed and then umuntu useyavuka useyahamba, you understand. It's two people making love. And also iphinde ibaleke because maningi amagcikwane aseza naso lesifo le ilontozana intimacy. So ngiphinde ngithi futhi ibalekile. So my ideal man ke mina personally Amanda. Indoda ezazi ukuthi ifuna empilweni.
Direction.
Indoda fanele ibe ne direction. Indoda fanele ibe nolwimi. You must know how to talk. Ungathi mesihleli nabantu kanje usaba ukuthi awema avezobheda umuntu wami weJesu. Indoda fanele iyazi ukuthi.
So you're saying he has to be intelligent?
Of course.
Yes. Because you not just the person you can just go.
Yes. Indoda futhi even emotional intelligence is very important. Angathi umuntu mediniwe like asiyazi ukuthi kuphihlika ama TV. So ithemba yomuntu mina ngiyayiqaphela. You understand, angathi umuntu ngelinanga nyaxabana usekuphakamisela isandla. So naleyo fact ibalekile. Umuntu umbona ngendlela awuphatha ngayo umndeni wakhe ukuthi owena umndeni mase seniba nawo ngelinye ilanga uyowuphatha kanjani.
When you say umndeni wakhe la isuka khona.
Yes.
Like the mother, the father, the sisters, the siblings.
Yes, neyingane futhi zama siblings as well, because I've always wanted to have a big family. So ubalekile umuntu who's actually good with children. You understand? Indoda kufanele ibe a hard worker. He must be very hardworking. Fanele abe ambitious. Ungathi as much as nathi sabantu besifazane, mina I always say I have a daughter. So umntanami mina always say ngiyomtshela masekhulile ukuthi instead of saying mina ngifuna indoda enje, be the man you want to marry. But sibe realistic as well ukuthi as much as mina Amanda ngizoba nama ambition, ngibe umuntu ozazi ukuthi ufana ngibe driven. Angifuni indoda useless. Indoda ezothi mina mangivuka ekseni ngiyahamba ngiyosebenza ilelo yona because ngikhona mina. Never ever. And also indoda fanele ilethe income ephezulu kwami.
So when ufuna
ufuna
ukusherisha what percentage wena kuma bills asendini?
Muhle no 20.
Well,
wow, okay.
No 20 muhle futhi kwezinye inyanga yabo kwe 10.
Okay. It's nice. Certainly you are the rose among thorns.
Yabo manje siphile esikhathini sokuthi thina as women we are stepping up. As women we are bossing up ngalendlela. So angimfuni umuntu weak. See, career wise we know what we want. Abantu besifazane manje bayasebenza kanzima. You understand? Akusafana, okay, bakhona labo, but let me focus mina because I'm surrounded by hardworking women. So I want to focus on that as well. You understand? Yes, bakhona, and also it's not wrong. Mengabe umuntu besifazane ethi mina I want to be a housewife. Mina ngithi ungamjudge, ungawajudge ama choices omunye umuntu because now at some point in my life I thought I wanted to be a housewife.
Okay, wait.
You know?
Ufuna umuntu ozoprovide 20% but still ufuna ukusebenza.
That's not like a percentage.
Okay, sithi nje uzoprovide kodwa still usafuna ukusebenza.
Yes, because ekugcineni I don't want to lose myself in a relationship or marriage. Ama goals ami ngisafuna ukuthi
So awufuna ukushada.
No, uyafuna ukushada. But uyazi what I want.
Sikhuluma ngami noma sa generalize.
Sikhuluma ngawe because you represent a certain portion yabantu besifazane
Usuke eqala ukuthi mina
21st century.
So ngilokho ngibuza ngawe ngibuza ukuthi bengisho njalo ufuna ngokwami nje ubala bonke labantu labo the person that ideally you want. Sengibuzele ekutheni you want a person who achieve zonke lezi zinto at the same time you ufuna ukusebenza after you make the babies lawa ufuna uthanda umndeni omkhulu. So as you are pregnant ready ukubeletha ufuna ukusebenza.
Yes.
Afterwards.
Yes.
Uphinde ube pregnant usebenze futhi.
Yes.
Okay. Uyimisela ukuyeka nemsebenzi.
Mase ngifuna ukuyeka, that's the thing. Mase sekungikhalela ukuyeka kusasa ngifuna ukuyeka kusasa ngazi ukuthi i-household is still running ngalendlela engazi ngayo ukuthi iyenza ngakhona.
So ufuna umuntu one direction and ona direction.
Mina ngina direction of course. Angeke ngize
ufuna ukuyeka nini? Phela i-direction is part of i-plan na.
Okay, so here it goes. Mina self njengoba ngithi ngifuna umuntu one direction. Angithi wonke umuntu uba nama goals awasethayo ukuthi in 5 years I want to achieve this, in 10 years ngifuna ukuthi ngi achieve lokhu sinama short and long term goals in life. So obviously izinto lezo ezifola under lawa goals akho. Personally as a person ukuthi okay mina ngingathanda ukuyeka ukusebenza ngina 40.
So by the way, yeah,
we're already on like 18 minutes, so we would like to get your views eventually.
Yeah.
Because we're already on 18 minutes of the video.
It usually takes long.
Can we
The problem is, I need now, what happens is, njoba siba ne conversation, we need to iron things out. Ngoba usually what happens, businesses iron izinto out, there are no comebacks. Oh, it's no, I didn't mean this, kanjeni.
And but we're also looking for the person who's viewing this thing. 18 minutes is a lot, but we're also trying to also get them engaged. And even if things ainanga, then bring corrections after that, but have a conversation.
Oh, okay.
It's not a teaching lesson, because you're asking what a woman wants.
Sifuna ukudodisa
No, that's fine. If you're valid points.
ukudodisa nomuntu olalele obukelile njengamanje. This is a conversation nokudodisa.
It's a conversation, it's not a teaching lesson.
Now uwakhuluma ngo-Amanda. Can I ask you as Amanda, based on this, this is your realistic expectation as Amanda of a person that you want? Is that what you want, right?
Yes,
the
but
person
but
also provide kanjalo. Are you njengoba nithi ngiunderstand noba bushilo uthi sex is not important ngaleyo ndlela, but yonke breaker ama-relationships amaningi.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
I
So
don't know
sex.
that you heard me very, very
Oh,
well. Can I
okay.
come in there? I did not say that sex is not important. I said it's a bit dangerous to focus your energies on a type of sexuality whose origin and source cannot be defined as coming from within. Now I'm enlarging. Sex should be driven by an internalized energy, if you like, you can call it spiritual sexuality, which every man in his masculinity forms part of his emotional structure. But when sex is borrowed from visuals, pornographic visual, then the structure of a man inside dies. Then he relies on a photocopied images of sex in order to pep up his own partner's sexuality. To me, that's false. So, meaning, briefly, Jabul, I would like people to use themselves, the energy generated in themselves. Bring in your self-worth, your sexual self-worth, I bring mine. Then there's going to be complementarism and there's going to be connection between the two of us. I embrace what I call Amanda-centrism. These are Amanda preferences. But at a universal space, let's accommodate another woman who does not share the same sentiments and nostalgia with Amanda. Another woman who is independent, self-made, high-value woman who does not rely on a man's provision, man's protection, because she has these
Amanda
things.
is also self-made.
Mina ngiyengithi mina ngiyengicabanga ngizomcorrect i-value ye-female sithi high value ithola i-value from men perceiving her as high value.
Can I also add
Are we
this
going to
out?
be defining women even in this era of time?
Yeah.
It scares me.
Yes,
It scares
because
me.
it's why ngisho njalo. Yes, because they do that to us. We understand abonje uAmanda ebhale bonke labantu laba la. Ebhale abantu abaprovider, abantu abazokwazi to look after a household of 3 or 4 individuals phakathi na yonke leyo. Use exclude baningi abangasebenzi abangaqualify abangekho konke lokho. Use ba exclude. I-problem ukuthi bes exclude ama females phatheka kambi. Ukuthi manje ile dynamic lena engifisa usidiscuss ngempela in these platforms ngoba each time bekufanele sibheke ukuthi ama males wona feel kanjani kuphatheke kambi on behalf of ama females benama platforms agcwele umhlaba wonke for those for ukuphatheka kambi bona baba namhlanje bebhale konke lokho u-exclude abantu abaningi kabi. That's one. Two, uAmanda njengoba uAmanda how old are you if you don't mind asking?
She's mid
30, 29.
I'm 28 years
28. 28.
Yes.
Njobu na 28 awuthi ngizama.
I'm very wise.
Yeah, awuthi ufika nani wena ku relationship? Ngibuze kanjani.
For the sake of progress, Iman, I just want to take this ngifuna ngibuka umuntu wesilisa ohleli lapha yana uswezwile uAmanda ukuthi what type of guy is she looking for?
Sengibuza mina.
Okay, manje Njabulo, what does this mean kubafowethu out there? An average guy othi okay ngiyayiphandela but ngiyamfuna usiso njengoAmanda.
Excluded kuAmanda ila ngiyakhona.
Yeah, okay.
Excluded kuAmanda ngoba uAmanda and nama ngizothi naba females amaningi alalele bongambuza before bengaphoza manje whoever lalele ifemale bese yabuza ukuthi ufunani njoba ngisho nje naye yabona nje most females want the same thing.
Just one more question.
Yeah.
Just one more question. Obviously, an average man in his mid 30s, there's a type of guy Amanda I'm thinking umuntu oseyachievile osenemoto osenemali or even maybe osenomuzi or
Amanda is
ngeke umthole
Amanda is got in 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 be interest yakhe ngoba uqala ukuthola i-attention from older men I'm sure njobe ibala nje ena 28 a few ama 20-year-olds akwazi provide what she wants, so obviously she's not shopping we range yakhe. She hasn't been shopping we range yakhe for years. A problem that I'm a problem not again amongst other ladies as well because they want things that cannot be provided by age group yabo. Okay, my males are few are scarce. Yes, in so saying, when ufika nani relationship kulo muntu wena.
Okay, I'll answer that mase ngingenelela ngisho njengoba kade ngisho ukuthi umuntu ufanele abe ne-direction because nami self-in direction.
Please.
Yeah, so yes ngiyakhona ngiyaphendula umbuzo wakho. So mina ngifika nani kwi-relationship what I come with okokuqala nje kurude ukuthi ubuze umuntu ukuthi uza nani etafeni kube nomu-invitile but asikho lapho. Mina ngifika net-intelligence yami because ngiyakwazi ukwakha.
What intelligence is that?
Yabona
Because
ukuthi
there's emotional intelligence, there's sexual intelligence, there's human intelligence, there's aesthetic intelligence, there's marital intelligence. So what intelligence are you talking about?
ngikhuluma generally.
Uhlakaniphile nje.
Yes.
Uhlakaniphile isiqhema.
Kakhulu.
Okay.
So mina ngumuntu okwaziyo ukuthi angisho ukuthi umuntu wesilisa udinga ukwakhiwa umuntu wesifazane but umuntu wesifazane omkhetha empilweni ubalekile because they can either make or break you as a man. So 1, 2 mina ngoAmanda ngifika nami kule age yami engikuyona, you understand, nezinto nami that I've accomplished as well. I studied shipping ne, So I realized, okay, this is not what I want to do. I worked at a company in Gayega early this year. I was a PR manager. So now I'm focusing on e-pharmacy, which I'm currently doing, and I'm doing my practicals with an specialist similars pharmacy. So mina ukufika kwami la etafuleni oqala nje, don't approach me if expecta ukuthi mina njengo Amanda at my age ngizobe sengikhona izinto ezingaka engizoza nazo financially. I'm not saying I'm not coming with anything financially, but ngizofika naloko engifika nako. You understand? That's why, yes, yeah. That's why I'm saying when you invite umuntu etafuleni, so akwazi kuba wena futhi oshoyo ukuthi okay is a no 1 no 2 no 3 no 4, but mina ngi-invitewayo ngine choice yokusho ukuthi angifuni ukuhlala kule tafula because awekho lama grapes engiwadla, lama fruits engiwadlayo. You understand? So yes.
No, qhubeka. Because I like you're getting heated. I like that energy.
Yes, so nami njengoba ngumuntu mina nginama options as well. We must not forget that ukuthi akuwena wedwa ozofika kumina and propose your undying love for me, but kunabanye abantu besilisa abafikayo. But ke njengomuntu who's so much into stability, ngiyasithanda stability mina. That's why also ngingakazi isikhathi esiningi ngigcile ku age group yami, because I feel like abantu besilisa ku age group yami they still full of umdlalo, bathanda ukudlala. Banale mentality yokuthi okay ngeke ngize ngidle chicken every day. You understand?
So
basafuna
stable. Stable.
I'm very much stable.
Okay.
I'm more than stable. So stability sibalekile as well, and kufanele waneliseke ngami. So umuntu esisafunela akwazi futhi communicate. Communication is key in every relationship.
But aneliseke, so you won't entertain umfazi wesibili.
Polygamy. Before I would say no. That was me. Ngakithi ngiyenze leyo nto. Up until ngakhula, ngabona izinto ngendlela ehlukile, ngangena nasedlozini, so I got to see izinto manje ngenye perspective. So into yedlozi, I would definitely entertain it now.
This is so interesting.
Sorry. Yes, Tim. Yes, Tim.
This is so interesting at your age, already in your mind. When you say you got matured, manje you are open.
Yes, I am.
Explain that maturity. What really happened to reach that stage? Because I know most young women at your age, but no, I'm tlangani. Yeah.
Ngizoyibeka kanjani? Mina personally, I get very busy. I get very occupied. Ngiyasebenza ngokwedlozi, and I'm doing my practical, so ngiyasebenza esibhedlela, and I fast as well. So more faster, awukwazi ukuthi uhlangane ngokucansi nomuntu othandana naye whether nishadile or not. So ngaleso sikhathi mina asithi ngifast 30 days because we can go for 30 days.
Sure.
Fasting. So ngenkathi ngifaste 30 days, angikwazi ukuthi ngi-expect lo muntu enginobudlelwane naye to now be deprived of sex because mina ngiyafasta.
So uvuma ngoba accommodator wena.
Not ngoba ku-accommodator mina.
Ngibuzela lokho.
Oh no, not because ku-accommodator. Imina self. Okwangifikela ukuthi it makes ngimcabangele lo muntu enginayo, and also njengomuntu osenomndeni.
Wait, umcabangela ngoba wena uyafasta noma umcabangela ngoba you understand the nature.
There is a concern.
Okay,
if you look at this conversation, it supports the three of you. And it's no longer a debate and a conversation, John.
Okay.
Can't we make it like we used to do, that everybody participates? Because I've been counting, so but now 9 minutes I've never said a thing in the conversation. So that does, I'm not sure whether it's going to go in the direction that you desire.
No. It's I understand. Ukuthi ngizama ukuchaza akubelanje. Ngizama ukuzwa kahle ukuthi what exactly ufuna yini, and unfortunately angikwazi ukumrasha ngoba uyambuza naye ama questions, maybe ngakubuza njengoba kubuza.
Yeah, but
we've been asking so many questions.
Yeah,
I need us to wrap this now.
It's ending up as a bombardment now.
Yes,
you are bombarding Amanda. She's not, for instance, she's not going to give the best of herself if you use that approach. I would like you to be probing.
Have a conversation.
Yeah, be probing. Then let's get all involved.
Oh yeah, I was heading to that. Ukuthi when we pick up things from thin air, city, yes, females want this, then asizwanga from yena. Kanjalo, I was hoping to see another conversation verse ngoba I think iyona is windela out, is ainela out izinto. I was interested in finding out what generally age group bafuna abantu abanjani wachaza. Then I was asking ukuthi yena ufika nani etafuleni njengoba echazile ukuthi she's intelligent, uyistrength nakho konke lokho. What I'm trying to do now into engizama ukuyibona for ukuthi izama ukubalance ukuthi okay ube wabeka nembono ukuthi yena ngeke invite bese iyabuzwa ukuthi ufika nani, which is any valid point leyo. I wanted to find out from njengoba si discuss ukuthi my belief is women control the sex, we control the relationship. Kuyiqiniso lapho.
Then say that for your part.
You said women
don't
control
now want
the
to
sex.
know everything that she wants because ziningi does for
No,
then this is not gonna end. But now coming to your side.
Isiphelile list yakhe sengibuyela back list yakhe ngokuthi njengoba sichaza ukuthi si break it down, we're going back to lezi zinto lezi. For example, when you're talking about sex, njengoba usho uthi it's not really a priority to you, but it is a priority to most guys. Most guys, kuze kube ne cheating involved na yonke into, it's because of the sex. So the sex part,
that's where the communication comes in.
Kuba lapho and nokuthi sex as you're starting off your relationship, let's understand ukuthi njengoba start a relationship, you controlling the sex, I'm controlling.
It's fine to give some gaps
check?
closed.
Can you just do the time check?
No, I think
already?
You're gonna edit some things out. It's fine.
Okay.
But it's a thing of course. At this point, we want to hear your opinion on the things she said, not in ABC to take and
yes.
so that we can also have Isai Lavabunde, because I feel like you come in as to add the understanding of both sides.
Over information so that is editor to Uber in
so over information also gives people too much. You also want people to come back and want more. You want more series to come in from this. So if you explain Yonkindo on this sex topic, you share some things open so that I also have questions as I'm watching it with Harman, but they didn't address this because we want people to want more of it.
Guys, this thing. Was this not derail? I asked who take like the yonke into ngoba answering each one by one equals what is derail.
Okay.
So now uqedile bese seqedile, it takes 10 hours, 15 hours, 15 minutes uqede waqeda. Bese seqedile, it takes time to unwind naleyo nto futhi. Manje
wena ufuna ukuqeda ndabe, I mean Njabulo sifuna ukuzwa wena ke manje ukuqeda.
Ngisho bona iproblem ayithi manje sengiyaqeda, I'm going back step by step. That's why I write notes.
Okay.
I write notes because khona ngeke si deviate ngoba sikhale ngo deviation isiqala la ukuthi sithatha ama points angekho na sesiwakhulumile wonke lama points. I don't know if ngingayikhuluma.
I get what you're saying. So now
yes,
we're saying we're gonna start, but we want to hear your view.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's get back to the conversation again, man. Let's get back to the conversation. What is your view on isn't that shit? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? What are the things that you feel are attainable? They're unattainable. Then now you'll start talking about land.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you think?
Emma, you're still asking her.
Yeah, no. I'm just asking a question before then. Let me just ask you a question. Okay. Do you think at 28, the person that you are looking for is looking for you? The type of people.
This is why I don't like saying my age, because now you get developed based on what my age also I have wisdom yami. So I always say
let me explain this to you. Guys are not interested in your wisdom.
Some guys.
No.
All guys.
Most guys. Okay. Most guys are not interested in your experience as a female. Essentially, guys, yes, so we discuss. Okay. But most guys are fun of an experience. For example, we are shooting Instagram, we visiting Dubai, we visit, which is good for you.
Okay.
But go track record for someone in from Wi-Fi app. Ngeke ngimthathe umuntu osetraveling uzothi ngitravela naye nge Dubai usehambe no
but also Uyayidlela-ke le ndaba ye-wisdom, because awuzange ubuze ukuthi
No,
wisdom in what sense?
I understand that. I need to understand that why. I need to understand that which why. I need to understand which why looking here point by point because when they are land, I need mind you. But see, Kaza, do
But also now,
But why we are paying point by point? Because the
So
whole thing is
Imagine a guy, an average guy.
No.
To wipe up someone.
Oh, awuzibuze wena akunje ukuhila. Are you interested kwintombazane ezofika ne CV yakhe itshela ukuthi isidale noba.
It's related to wisdom, not in that sense.
In which say ubuzile ubaba. What when in general
No, befanele ungibuze-ke nawe ngoba besabuza intelligence.
No. Why not ufuna share
yindaba uma ngithi mina wisdom automatically ingqondo yakho igijima lapho.
Okay, what's it be kanje? It's because wisdom is derived from ngama experiences akhe angithi. Uzube wise through your experiences angithi.
Yes.
Okay. Abantu besilisa.
So let me tell you now in what sense.
Okay.
Uma ngithi mina wisdom, angithi wisdom maturity kahle
Okay.
kahle. Yabo ukuthi uma umuntu wesifazane and lose a mom at a young age and you have to step in and be now a mom to a younger siblings. You understand? So already wena usuyayazi imndeni ukuthi into enjani, usuyakwazi ukukhulisa umntwana ukuthi into enjani. So mangithi maturity, mangithi wisdom, ngikhuluma in that sense. Ngiyakwazi ukuthi imali isetshenziswa kanjani. Angeke ngize ngiphike nontanga bami ngithi hayi ngithatha imali ngithenga isikhwama seGucci.
Ngilapho mama ngewisdom usholela umama ekuqaleni. Washolela umama?
Yes, I was 15.
Uthatha lo experience wena. Wafundiswa wasuhlala nombaba.
It matters when it comes to my financial.
Good, ngilapho.
Okay.
Wasukhuliswa ubaba?
No, my father was never
So
he was absent in my life.
Okay, so nevoid ukhuliswe umama.
No, my stepfather fortunately he's been there. So we void ayikho. I don't have daddy issues.
So you don't have daddy issues.
No,
so you say unani strength sakho
But Emmanuel, why is now the question of what she wants now going to be derived by what she's lacking in, like what she didn't have, never from.
But are we not? That's not a conversation.
I think now.
I need to bring you in here because then though it's really ilahla masondo man. But let ilahla masondo. Guys, Bamdabe, I need you to give us something I'll call a reasonable assessment of what we've just been going through now.
Yeah, there were so many things. What was omitted in your good conversation was human diversity, human preferences. And some of the terminologies that you use is outside the clinical thinking and the way that people perceive and see things in reality. E.g., we attract people into our lives. And as we attract them, we attract people who behave in a certain way because they embody the characteristics of our caregivers. She made a statement about the loss that she has experienced. And she quickly soothed it up with the presence of a stepfather. But it does not mean that she's not carrying a mother wound. It's deep in her sometimes. It defines some of the decisions that she has made. So we're not going to just brush it off as if you lose a mother, then nothing happens. So then Unjabulo, they went into the tit for tat, trying to extrapolate from her the sense of herself. There is a yardstick and the type of women that think like Amanda, but we've got another brand of women that do not think. That's what I'm talking about, human diversity. So Amanda's centrism and her preferences cannot be found in other women. That's why maybe when I said it in introduction, I had to base my thinking on history, because history gives us an idea and insight in understanding what is happening at the present moment, because we might not like it in Jagul, but it has a psychological impact and influence. Now back to Amanda. I embrace what Amanda's preference is, but there are many people who will frown at what Amanda has said. There are many women themselves who might not share the same opinions and views of life. So we need to accommodate that woman. What do we say of a woman, for instance, who's not afraid to share? Because what I found, Jabudo, there are so many beautiful women who are independent, intelligent, educated, both formally and informally, who don't have a problem in sharing a man. And society seems to be frowning
Sharing
upon
a man? Oh, okay.
That is why, Amanda, I'm very skeptical about the modern terms that you use these days. Cheating, infidelity. I'm very careful how I define them.
Okay.
For instance, you can have a woman who says, I can see that you are married, but I would like to share a portion of your life with you without interfering with your wife. Provided that I'm known to your wife.
Thank you.
That does not mean that
They
is
are
not
cheating. Thank you.
Is that cheating?
No, it's not.
It's not cheating because the whole decision will be exposed to a matriarch so that she can make a decision about it.
Also,
Yes.
it's something. There's a mandolo.
It's not that I'm just correct the whole thing about the same. It's a very it's an institution.
Sensitive issue.
It's not sensitive as such. It's modern paranoia with modern women.
Okay.
That has created
modern women.
a hula baloo.
And how much of influence westernization
Or deadly.
change?
Deadly.
Yes.
I'll repeat a conundrum here. You see, this tale started when there were wars in the tribal engagement of our society. Then the Venezuelans said, let's marry widows so that there are no widows. Was it talk temples? Otherwise, the system that I love most is divine union, which in African language you call Ntala. I've explained it to you in the previous time.
Yes.
It's where Amanda gets married as a matriarch. And then it destiny a dynasty. Ebe said, wait a minute, I'm going to ask my husband for another woman. Then yena of her own prerogative uzohamba ayokweshela umuntu wesifazane. Unkosikazi kaAmanda akayena unkosikazi kaThe King.
Assuming it's a woman-led society.
No. That's how it started.
Matriarch.
Yes, that's what they did. But did you know within African countries, North African countries, it's still practiced?
Conversation in general, when it comes to a conversation, then you can't stick to the topic. That's why looking in break that down again. We can't stick over is there because of other things that we need to attend to. That we need to attend to correct.
I mean, I have a question. I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, mina go Amanda ne. Ngakhuluma ngama preferences mawukhuluma khona la ukhulume khona futhi Njabulo wathi no mengikhuluma ngewisdom wathi ngathi mina uthi wena men are not interested in your wisdom ngathi mina you or some or all wathi wena all men
say most
okay
most
okay most okay fine so now show me a woman that said if other women were to actually hear a preference they would frown. So now I'm saying, show me a woman who doesn't want a driven man. Show me a woman who doesn't want an ambitious man, who doesn't want a protector, who doesn't want an emotionally intelligent man. I'm
going there. I'm going there. Women, I feel women these days, most women are delusional about what they want and what they bona ba deserve ngithi angiyindlalela lapho
and also leyo deserve ingena kakhulu ekutheni abantu besifazane manje sebeyakwazi ukuthi bayisebenze sebakwazi ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi babo business women bayakwazi ukuthi bayofunda babe
namasiqoqe kahle lento because
please allow it to be as broad as it is.
Isn't it funny?
Break it down.
You're gonna break it down.
You'll never
editing.
Sorry.
Okay.
You'll never find a ready-made man, as Njabulo was saying.
And the woman too.
Yeah. When you get into a relationship, you're going to hit a roadblock. What is that roadblock? It's the woundedness that I bring into the space of a relationship. And let's not forget, Amanda, your own wounds that you bring into the relationship. For the next 2, 3, 4 years, we're going to be battling our wounds.
I'm not the only one who's coming with wounds also. But
you're echoing my sentiments. Let's not ignore or to to walk through the painful path of our woundedness.
What if my family has walked me through Ngahambi? So I'm a psychologist already. What if my family already
you're gravitating towards trauma? Let me talk about your childhood emotional wounds. They have an impact into your development as a woman.
Okay.
You can't deny your existence, the data of who you are, where you come from,
not at
your
all.
observation and experiences. Those things will inform and will contribute immensely into your attraction deprivation.
So you are saying to me, losing a mom at the age of 15 plays a role in the kind of men that I want in
No,
my
it
life.
doesn't. That's your personal
So
trauma and experience.
Yeah, so
I'm
trying
talking
to
about
understand.
childhood emotional wounds. Maybe I need to spell them out. If, for instance, you experience rejection, you were born by parents who are emotionally unavailable for you, you experience discounting, you were sexually violated, those will have an impact into your development and your family as a woman. And they will have a say in the type of relationship that you're going to get into.
Okay, so now how does it come in the type of man that I want or
It's
prefer?
because when we men, when we attract women, we tend to be attracted to women who embody a very fine nuances of our parents. It's like going to the scene of crime. You see, my wife has traits that my mother has. And in every man, yes, that's what the true man is like that. He's safe in a woman who carries traits that are like her mom. In fact, interesting enough, Amanda, men who tend to attract the opposite, those relationships don't last.
No, angiphikisi ngiyavumelana nawe. That's why ngiyibuza nje ukuthi ufuna ukuthandana noma wakho, because you'll find ukuthi you're cooking for your man and he says wazi wasipheka isitambe engathi kupheka uma wami. So I relate to what you are saying.
Exactly. But I wish you need to mother him.
Yes, I know that as well.
Yeah. So I'm impressed by your desire, your wishes, and the definition of a woman that you put in. There are other women who want something different.
Of course.
For instance, who says, I'm coming in as a complete persona. And they will attract a man who possesses those qualities. They might not be complete. They still have to sink in the bubble path of childhood emotional woundedness. As I say to you, Amanda, there are good parents, I'll use the word good, very economical, but who tend to raise kids that tend to demonstrate and show very devious psychological disorder patterns, narcissism, if you like, even Machiavellian characteristics. So, in real society, when you attract, you're going to kill a ready-made type of a man.
I didn't say I want someone to complete me. I want someone
No.
to
I'm not talking about
compliment
completing you
Okay.
or complimenting you.
Okay.
Ngikhuluma ukuthi uzothatha umuntu wounded. Irresponsibility yakho amanje ukuthi nobabili dlulani phela kwi-healing
Together.
process. Nobabili, yes. So that uma ngikwazi ukuheala i-mother wound ku-Amanda, ngihile i-discounting yakhe, ngihile ama-abandonment issues, ahile, nami ngihile my own source of my wounds. Kuzoba ukuthi kuvuleke i-spaces. Otherwise, when we both driven by emotional hunger, we're going to destroy each other. Please, go tell her in the next, because it's one of my biggest concerns, men bashing.
Women?
Men bashing. Because men bashing, it then caricatures us as amadoda. Sigcine sesifunwa ama-delusions abantu besifazane singafunwa yiqiniso lapho.
Okay, but besithi men bashing yini nje?
About men have always been cut, objectified, cut. Masculinity. We are being made, I don't know, we are like tourists in our own bodies.
Yeah, we are.
Because we are all the time, we must please, we must do.
Yeah, nami leyo nto ngine-issue ngayo mina right now. But
I will zoom into that.
Yeah, bengithi I was trying to get into that ukuthi by understanding what you want and finding out ukuthi when ufika nani wasuyachaza ukuthi when ufika nawo konke lokhu ongekho tangible kodwa kwaziwa wena wedwa.
Yeah.
Angithi, but konke lokho okunye okufunayo from a guy izinto expect ukuthi ayitshengise before ekushada. Wena lokho kwakho othuza nakho uyiveza uyimisela ukutshengisa nini before ushada ngithi. Okay, so do you think ngibuze nje angithi ubalile ukuthi all this is a high value guy, but it's the rare guys besingabala nje abantu around ongathi uyabazi nani abama achievers, yes, who around abantu vese aba achievile naba achievayo. Do you think they are shopping around for 30-year-olds or 27-year-olds abaningana?
No. Ngeke ngikhulumele kakhulu, but there are men who say akamfuni umuntu onengane, you know.
Bonke abafuna into
Up until kokunye ukuthola ukuthi umuntu
bonke abafuna ingane zokuchazela.
Ngisasifuna ukubuza ukuthi okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I used to
Okay,
I used
so
to
yeah,
falsely believe that abantu besilisa they don't mind.
No, we don't
mind.
Onenga.
That's
I
not
got a shock of my life by interviewing probably more than 100 men. By but deep inside,
I'm phony.
izibe deep because izibe deep ngoba nina nitshela ukuthi ku right yabo nje ubala nje manje angifuni ukuthi ibe personal manje problem izosuka ibe personal kodwa uyabuza as a personal ngingakutshela mina personal isiqede ngawo bese siya generalize.
Okay, umuntu ose-achievile to the level leya Amanda, what sort of a guy do you think?
It doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter to the person that she wants. Ukhumbu, she wants a person who achievile, onezinto zakhe, one life yakhe. Asibeke nje, let's say nzobeka someone owaziwayo Mutsepe, just say Mutsepe loyal girl to you wife yakhe ngimazi. But let's just say usifunela umuntu eseceleni. First ngiyamfuna umuntu oningani. Akamfuni umuntu one experience akumsizi lokho ngifuna uunderstand kanjani
ufuna umuntu onjani umchazela
ngifuna ukuthi ngifuna singadirect kakhulu ngifuna uunderstand ngifuna uunderstand ningayibuki ngokwemali nani ngibuke wena ukuthi all guys bayitshela ukuthi all guys bama-males njengomotsepe ngifuna uunderstand lokho so wonke umuntu uzazi ukuthi uwumotsepe hayi ngokwemali essential ngokuba iguy so the personality so now nina ni-treat her differently ngoba asibona umotsepe ngokwemali that's the problem kodwa sonke ngifuna izwe futhi sonke sifuna ukutreatiswa komotsepe inini eningastreat njengomotsepe because of imali.
Can I also say enye into ukuthi ngizophinde la kade kusho khona kwamndaba ukuthi past experiences also ayayidlala indima into the person, not sometimes, in fact personal experiences ayayidlala indima into the person that you become. So let me say le yokwakha I've been in a relationship with someone owayethi melala in fact wayekade right empilweni wase wow so mina ngifika empilweni yakhe ngenkathi esesakazeke phansi but usazama ukufihla yini ukuthi no ngisa right engazi usaportraya engazi uthena usa right kanti mina ngiyabona sengiyazi ukuthi lo muntu rock bottom njengamanje empilweni yakhe. So now knowing this person angithi ngiphinde ngabala ukuthi intelligence ibalekile ngiyamazi ukuthi this person is capable ngiyamazi ukuthi uhlakaniphile nomuntu and ngiyazi ukuthi njengoba ewile manje doesn't necessarily mean ukuthi sekuphelile ngaye futhi neminyaka isamvumela ukuthi to rebuild. Got into a relationship with this person ngithi mangimvakashelile kulalo garage ngoba wengasanayo room kube endlini ngithe semuva uthile se right so sebuyela kuba kasanayo i-bedroom usela le garage ukuthi makunetworks amacoco yes so this person what builder and I was there
building together
yes I'm with this guy kukhona konke sijabulele ngisho ama small wins you understand kwathi esefika la ekadeni efisa ukufika khona empilweni wabona bangcono so
bayithi ubona ngcono
nanokuthi futhi okay wabona bangcono nanokuthi mina ngingayitshela ukuthi I was good to this guy mina ngingayitshela ukuthi how but I was there but also wake wahlala angikaze ngihlale naye phansi ngimbuza ukuthi where did I go wrong so uthola ukuthi nami kukhona ezinye izinto engangibuye ama tendencies engangibuye ngiwenze mhlambe amenza afile sengathi he's not man enough I don't know you understand but ngokwami mina I tried for a person who was as young as I was then futhi I tried also but kwathi lo muntu ese right ese right empilweni wandiza wabona bangcono so that's why mina ngithi I don't think
at that time morning
ngangakabi so that's why I'm saying angimfuni umuntu mina osazama because nginaleyo fear
wonke ama females alinde we finish line finish line ukubona ama winners they're not interested we struggle saka wekho interested alinde nje we finish line ukubona ukuthi kanjani
can I come in there Jabul because the nation Jabul is very very concerning for me. Money in the hands of a psychopath and a narcissist in the Machiavellian deadly.
Thank you.
Deadly. Because what I'm seeing in South Africa now is very, very interesting. A true picture. Let me zoom into my province. Women who have dated guys with money, they live under the control of their currents. not of their emotions, not of the relationship. They are controlling the currency the guy is providing for. Abanye babo, they go to the extreme, bameki sama Machiavellians, angiyekisi ukusebenza. Actually sekhaya.
So true.
Then ebese commander, this is where you go, this is who you talk to, this is what you do.
What you wear.
So I become so scared, therefore, when a woman is looking for the finishing line, and I be concerned upon
Into engiyithandayo ukuthi we sharing different views and I'm happy nobaba ukhona. Mina ngiyileyo Machiavellian. Ngifuna whatever label engingayibeka, ngiyileyo label engingayibeka. Why ngisho njalo? It's because I think the more I try and figure out female nature iyayiveza ukuthi idinga security, idinga protection, idinga konke lokho. Noma ngangakusho abanye bayakusho verbally, abanye bakusho ngama actions. But ekugcineni that is what happens. Ukuthi omunye umuntu unemali kakhulu nomunye umuntu, nawe unemali ngeke ufune ukudlalwa ngemali yakho. You need control. Uzube nayo imali. It's because of the control factor in managing and direction. So whenever someone is going to come and outside izofika la, awufuni ifike la izoyidlalisa nje imali. You need to learn how to control na yonke leyo. The control part iqhamuka ekutheni baba. Chaze. Isounda kambi lento control ngoba sithi control nje singayi-understand ibe out of context. Let me just try and put it with context kancane. Njoba ngiyibekile ngathi asiyibuke ngomatsepe hopefully akana scandal verse so ngizokhe ngenze example ngayo. Bongena boyo asithi manje uMotsepe uyakufuna ngizobeka uMotsepe again. Bekufuna ukubonile nwokha ngithi akazi ukuthi ningani kanjalo. Angithi akuwena uyomshintsha uMotsepe uthi wena wow uMotsepe ekhanda lakho uyafisa ukuyoplugga in kwaMotsepe noma kuthiwa gitshela umshanelo kwaMotsepe ufuna wakho umshanelo ukuyothathwa ngawo. Angithi that's you. All guys want women like that. Ufuna umuntu okudesire. You don't want to negotiate desire. A negotiated desire into engasebenzi. You understand? Yes. So now the moment what I'm trying to get at is uyabona bonke labantu labeni ba dismissile laba currently involved, I'm sure. But bonke labantu ba dismissile. You married? Okay, good. Bonke labantu laba enibabhalayo la uthi niyabafuna manje nje ubushadile wonke umuntu wakho la ticks all the boxes.
He ticks all the boxes.
Yes, no.
He does.
He does. And above.
No. Some things we had to work on together.
Together, not himself.
No, together.
Together. Okay. Yabona ezinye izinto futhi ezike zenzeke especially njoba sithi females amaningi afuna ukulinda we finish line ukuze ekuthola uso right. The moment njoba ngibuza ukuthi wena njoba uthi intelligent uyakho. Ezinye izinto beyiqhamuka from a female. For example, if you tell a man to man up, but then he mans up. Bese semene up wena oku relationship naye awumthathi serious sometimes not always ngoba kuwena kubi as genuine ngoba wena umtshelini. You understand? Ezinye izinto had to be manufactured within ukuze ube right wena ukuze wena bese usu right at the same time futhi ukhumbule akithi ufuna futhi umuntu stagnant ufuna umuntu ohlala improve njalo yiko umbuzo ukuthi wena ufika nani ngoba how many books have you read this year?
I read, I'm studying.
No, studying, I know. How many books besides
I don't have time to read.
Okay. Easy. Do you go to gym?
I do.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Everyone, you show concentrator, we health yako, concentrator, we brain yako in and your husband? How much time do you give your husband?
I give him time.
Well, I wouldn't say at the moment because you are self-developing yourself.
Yes, but also, guys, let's not forget the fact that I said Mina Owam deserves a second wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying because Mina Manilisi or because
No.
but Mina Ngowam, I feel he deserves a second wife. I don't see why not.
Okay. Do you think intelligence yakho
I want to share the sentiment. There are so many women, just like you, who have come to me. Women, this might come as a surprise to many people, who have such Pundabe Sagesakbona on TV talking about his team. I'm married to a man, this is my profession, this is what we do. But there's a part of me that believes which the balance of my relationship and marriage, the interest you'll be best served if Gibanomna wait. But angifuna zenzele umyeni because I know the type of a man. Ngifuna ukufoma part of his search and look so that ngizoletha umuntu engacontradict personally. Oh no. Amanda, women do come to me for that.
No, it's funny you mentioned because my conversation with Amanda was exactly that.
Yeah.
What
so I have respect for
right now she's searching for
that don't mind sharing. But these are the qualities of a woman that I would require to work with in our family. She must be self-made, she must be independent, at least she must have some business acumen. Saying I'm support Hagen Baba in the long time. But Angifuni encourage Jabubo.
Yeah.
Sorry
guys, we need to almost wrap this thing up.
We
need to almost wrap it up. Can we have like strong punch points as we play out?
I want to start so that I want to let you to please. We are going to deprive of it.
Go.
We are
Women bashing.
Yes.
No.
The way
society has degraded the value of muntu wesilisa.
Oh yes.
Ngoba befuna ilokuza what do you call this desexualized and dementalized man.
But pussificate.
We've been
pussification.
Amanda, I want you to leave these words of wisdom to you. I like what you believe in. I embrace your thoughts and preferences. Yet, I see a long way for you to go in terms of your healing and in terms of your growth. And I wouldn't like your husband to form part of your healing chain. That's too personal. Please keep it to you. Because I don't want him one day to take credit. I know to so balance or so because there'll be a source of discontent between the two of you. These are just two things that I'd like to take into consideration. Go a distance after 50 months, step back and reflect from where you come from. So that you don't repeat the same mistakes that you would have done in the previous era of your time. But there's still a lot of way to go. There's a lot of growth for you. Thank you.
Oh, very powerful.
Maybe this is the word that just need to a questionnaire is build up for the next show. Yes, in so far it is. We relationship. We are who's the price? Just need that answer. Who's the price? You or your husband?
Who's the price? I'm the price.
Thank you. I
think that's all I wanted for the next.
That's all I wanted.
Because it's very important, Uguti, in any relationship, we must know what Ubani price. No?
Who's the price?
But most cases, Ubanu by price.
Usually, it's the woman. In most cases now,
but what is the right price? I am the price. I feel like no, hell no. I am the price. We'll close it down on that note for now. Let's do another episode. No, I'm the price. Do this. A beautiful day, beautiful morning, beautiful evening. We got so much to talk about. There's so many things that are happening. We need to compliment. We need to criticize. We need to answer questions. Go back, Sabat Bislisa. We got lots of questions. And as I'm sure the other gender as well has a lot of questions. So we're back at it again. Amanda Ukona, Babundabe Ukona, Unjabulu Ukona. I'm leader of the game. Welcome. Now, when we left off, we were talking about who's the prize in a relationship. This one, your understanding, maybe in Jabulo, of what is the prize.
Uba no pedestal relationship asibe kanjani uba no khonzwayo uba I relationship revolve around yena
you saying whoever has money,
not necessarily
whoever has a frame,
not necessarily in manje why I asked that question before Valeria show at the scene. It's because from the list kufike umuntu ebe nama desires ebe nama wants amaningi ubuza ukuthi ufika nani bese fika lezinto ezingekho tangible bese at the same time ngobe approachiwe umuntu bese ibona ukuthi use kwi-pedestal ngoba yes bese iba off-ke from ngokubuka kwami my perspective i-relationship dynamic ngivesa ngiyibone iba off from that time when lo muntu has nothing to give means give in a sense yokuthi justify all the wants umuntu awafunayo kuba naleyo dynamic leyo but yinto engabonakali most of the time kuma relationship.
So by the virtue ukuthi when uapproachiwe, by the virtue ukuthi wena wakhiwe ngolunye uhlobo isitho sangasese, does it make you, Amanda, to think you are the prize?
It's not because of that. It's not because of that, but
why?
We can beat around the bush. We can say, my husband or my partner is my prize and I'm his prize, so we're both the prizes. Realistically, I'm the prize.
Okay,
the woman in the relationship, the woman in the relationship is the prize.
Okay, why?
First of all, you understand? Uyangisukela, I'm minding my own business noma ngisihlalele ekhaya. You approach.
Uzoqoba ini prize?
No.
Awuthi chazela, ima side ngoba so ngithi ngiyeke kakhulu bese ngithethisela umnyeke nje step by step.
Ngisukela baningi ngifuna le prize.
Good silapho ke. Good. Yabona njoba why you feel as if when we prize yazi ndabu feel
so many people abafuna mina
yes yazi ndabu feel
and I'm choosing you.
Yeah. Well, because unami bacabanga ukuthi you are that because you're with me.
That's the thing. Because I'm a female ahlale shelwa ayitshela ukuthi ayi-price and top of that enye into enenza ukuthi ngicane ngiyi-price ngokubona kwami it's because the moment abantu abaningi bashada nje besane beshada with no prenups with no plans and so on the moment washada umuntu wesifazane useyi-prize kuwena bongena prenup ngoba bekudivorce kusasekuseni uthatha uhalf wayo yonke into uthatha ney'ngane
abacabanga ukuthi abantu besifazane bayabathanda but do you understand ukuthi sometimes you are attractive to women because of the partner that you have.
Imagine, yeah, I just get to Babunda
wonke vese kunjalo. It's nawe yile kade ngisho ngizama isikhathi sikhuluma ku conversation yasekuqaleni sikhuluma nge-high value woman. Ngithi mina i-high value woman i-high value because of a man. Ngokwami mina i-value a female nami as a male bekufune ngibe high value noma or not i-female ama-females azokwazi ukuthi am I high value or not ukuthi mina ngiyibone ngiyi-high value so i-male ezokwenza wena ube high value especially ukuthi ungena kwi-relationship nomuntu who's established oyilento le then it gives you when a female ofike ne-intelligence engaziwa umuntu angithi ezowaziwa kuphela bese usungene kule relationship then that gives you i-value as a woman but bohamba ufloat as a woman one-PhD uhamba all over uthi wena ne-PhD ngi-successful mina nginalokhu that doesn't add value kumina as a guy.
I just need to maybe before Amanda ngicut sorry Bamdabeng with your own experience and profession in a relationship, is there a price?
Nothing. sorry. There's no price in humanity. If value to a woman, value to the man. We all come to our space of relationship with value. So there's no catch. These are the terms that came in the 60s after the liberation of the women's rights. And in fact, to tell you the truth, very disturbing. The price concept came with I'm a feminist in the 60s. Yes. Otherwise, if I marry Amanda, I come as myself. She comes as herself. We both no price. We both come. We both come to share our existence. There are a lot of things I'm going to contribute into a development. Equally, there is a massive contribution that she's going to bring into the space of our life. I.e., she's going to raise my kids into a way that when both are dead, they will keep the legacy going. For that, I'll forever credit her for that. Her fighting spirit, her feistiness, her desire to keep me on the straight path so that I'm respected and I still maintain my respect, decorum, and dignity is all that Amanda brings into the space of love. So you can't attribute that to price.
All right, now let's leave it up to you to decide who is the prize in the relationship. Are you the fisherman or the fish? Now you decide who is the prize. Who is the prize? Are you the prize? All right, very interesting in these days. Numerically, there's no balance. At some stage, khona umuntu ofuna ukushare. You get people bethi mina ngifuna ukushare. As a woman, I don't mind sharing. As a woman, ngifuna indoda yami kuphela. Uma ubheka mina ngedwa. Something that you just did now. I like interesting reaction. Amanda, what is your take about indoda yami ngedwa? Owami ngimfuna ngedwa, angikwazi ukushare nomuntu wesifazane. We know very well in our society right now there's a balance. If anyone has benendoda yakhe kushuthi inqaba abantu besifazane bazofa indlala. What is your take? Bazofa indlala phela. If amadoda be loyally wait, khona ijoke engifuna ukisho. A friend of mine washona. Kwafika abantu besifazane abaningi kwi-funeral yakhe. Uthe umama wekhaya elanda ifone. Wathi uyazini khona embozile njalo. Wathi ake ngifonele uThandi. Yakhala ifone la kulabantu abagcwele la. Wathi ake ngifonele uZindle. Yakhala ifone kulabantu abala. Only to find bonke labantu they were going out with their husband. What is your take on sharing?
Personally, I don't have a problem with sharing. Ngiyazi ukuthi iningi labantu besifazane banaleyo nto ukuthi oh no mina ngisoze ngashare indoda yami because angishodi indawo, you know,
Okay.
angishodi ngalutho, of which it's not about that. It doesn't necessarily mean ukuthi umuntu osesithembini kukhona la aleka khona. And also it doesn't necessarily mean ukuthi umuntu wesilisa lo othandana na your partner kukhona la mhlambe athi wena uleka khona. Sengizothatha omunye umuntu because wena awungijabulisi. It is not the case. But ke othi ngikhulume kule party le yabantu besifazane, I don't think ukuthi mina ukuba sesithembini is a problem. I don't see a problem with being esithembini because reality is besides lento yokuthi okay abantu besifazane baningi nabantu besilisa nani, but I personally feel ukuthi sabantu besifazane kwi household uyamdinga umnakwenu, uyamdinga umuntu ozobambisana naye. We have into thina yokuthi sibe nama mood swings. There is a lot. Today I'm very moody. Uthola ukuthi indoda yami yona isemudini. So ngeke athi mina ngiyimudi fanele yena yenze njani.
You saying you willing ngesikhathi umamuthi
Akahamba
ukuthi the space akahamba kumasibandane omaziyo that you trust.
Yes, ngiyazi ukuthi njengoba engekho la endlini ukephi. Ngiyazi ukuthi mangiphumile ngihambile ngiye eGoli noma eCape Town ngiyosebenza 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I know ukuthi ingane nobaba ba right ezandleni zamasibandane. Kunokuthi njengoba ngila Cape Town ngimthola efonini ngine frustration manje. I don't know ukuthi ukephi kwenzani nobani. I don't want ukuthi ngithi ngikwezinye izinto sengifocus ekutheni manje umnyeni wami wenzani nobani ngasikhatsini. And also it doesn't necessarily mean ukuthi ngeke asacheat at all. You understand? But ngifuna ukufocus lapha, ngifuna ukufocus ezintweni ezingangifuni.
You such someone is very lucky. Your husband is a lucky
That's
man.
why it gave me a people. Relationships are not about luck. They're about choices that we make. Love is what? Love is an attraction. Those are the fundamentals that make humanity to connect at the end of the day. What I want to say to you, I've been very, very uncomfortable with the entourage of women who, when the whole idea of polygamy came into her face, Kate's office through my show about Yona, other, where I was describing to the South Africans the origins of Utemboza. People became nervous, they became paranoid. No woman ever said, wait, women, sisters, let's look for sisters who don't mind to share. What insecurities are at play? What Amanda is saying makes a lot of sense. There are women who are fundamentally self-fulfilled, who just need a man in their space, not to own and possess, but who just want to share the man with other women without having to go into petty fights, catfights, and all stupid phoning, tracing, phone invasion.
Was number security,
You
so
know,
security,
yes.
partner.
I'm married to a woman, not an FBI.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, Jabul, is this. Maybe this coming generation needs to be re-educated on sexual, emotional, and marital preferences.
So look by educated quickly.
Yes, please. Let's be brief, young man.
Zoba brief quickly. Yabona nje ukukhuluma ngama-moods. I'm happy that you talk ukukhuluma ngama-moods ngoba awekho njalo akwi-cycle angithi. Your moods are cyclical or whatever.
Yeah, they are cyclical, yes.
Cyclical because of your menstrual cycles akho. Each time boqeda uphuma kwi-menstrual cycle yakho ovulator, naturally, not you, when you're programming it, you want a masculine person, you are attracted to a different type of man when you are ovulating because that's what your body is hungry for. The next part of your ovulation is kati usudlulile kwi-peak, usufuna another type of person. So when unendoda eyodwa, one type of person ngoba it's rare ukuthola a man or both. So uku-irritate ngoba mhlawumbe ufola kule part le lento noma ufola ngiyabanga ngoba uyavuma ngoba wonke umuntu engikhuluma naye lento uyavuma noma ufola kule part le. So thina sike sithi ka Plugless ngiyaxolisa ukukhuluma nge-organization.
No, yes, mention because you represent the organization.
Thina sithi ka Plugless learn to build up yourself first. Understand the female nature secondly. Khona uzo-understand ama-ovulation processes ngoba angithi awufuni ungena kwi-relationship ngesikhathi if you don't feed i-lust or the hunger umuntu ohlekisana nayo le attracted kuyona ngesikhathi e-ovulate mhlawumbe wena ufola kule part le ngapha ukhumbule le part le ngapha bongafoli kuyona uzofuna kule stage lesi ukuhamba nabangani beko girls night out na yonke lento ufuna this attention bavuma bonke ama-females abengichaza bafuna konke lokho bese this is died out noma bengathola ngumuntu ozo-fertilizer leqanda not futhi ngoba befuna ukuyokwenza lokho no hayi ngoba ufuna ukuyovulela omunye umuntu imlenze whatever, it's not that, it's just that ngaleso sikhathi akayona leyo nto and futhi aka-act ngale ndlela so yikho lama-moons ebakhona. You understand? Yes. So by building yourself up and understanding i-game uthi understand i-game ukeda game
present.
Yes. Understand the game uthi ngoba isikhathi ekuqeda ovulate attracted to masculinity umuntu fit and zonke lezi zinto lezi ayichazayo uyifola kule part le enye and then le enye ipart ifola isikhathi se-relax ufuna umuntu provision partner who's gonna cater for the provider. So that is why you find females besabancane begroove bemitha bebe ney'ngane bese bebadala befuna ukusettlisha down. You understand? Sebeqedile ukugroove, yes. Bafuna manje usettlisha down where thina la siqala khona. Ukhumbule
thina igazi lashisa lapho
no ashisa ukhumbule khona uyibeka kamnandi sengikhohlwa igama ngizokhumbula uthi ama-females when they get to 18 they get access to the candy shop.
Okay.
They track the sexual market value is at their peak from 18 to 23. Most males but sifuna 18-year-olds 23 has less problems. 24, 25 yaqala ke lama experience nema intelligence yonke into playing the parts lokho esingadingi. Lokho esingadingi. So ngayisikhathi na 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 kanjalo that's when
the fresh, the young, the tender.
Yes. Yila bengene khona kwi candy shop la bona bekwazi ukuchoose any candy bese baba nama preferences.
Okay.
Bona ama preferences dala bena. Thina isikhathi sesino 30, 31, 32 ngesikhathi sesiqala ukuba nalezi zinto lesi sesikwazi ukuthi sesiyakwazi ukuba ne direction phela ngithi besikhula besingana besacomputer nabo senza sicomputer nalabo ababafunayo sesiyibona ke manje angithi bese sesiyibona bona kudala befika e-candy shop thina ke sesiyaqala sekuyithina esingena candy shop sesidlina uma yini sebethi bona ke manje no but you don't do that
Uyiphathe kahle.
exactly
Wena usuyiphilile
bekhohlwe bona bane experience e-candy shop ayithi thina ke futhi
Safuna no candy shop.
but besides that sekuyethu ke manje ke i-10 ukuba candy shop eyabo nje bese besicontrola nje ingoba yabo isiyaphela iphathi candy shop I would say 99.99999% of all the guys in Bazio that I'm associated with don't want to share.
Non-starter.
Non-starter.
No.
Kunina, it sounds glorious because
Why
you
does
guys,
that sound glorious
yes,
to you?
moment, because you guys have been fed what you
Why
think
does it not
we
sound
want.
glorious that I can get 10,000 from him and 10,000 from
You
him,
can-
and I can leave you if you're not feeding
Perfect.
my cycle at that time to the island?
Exactly.
Why are we not
No, we can talk about that. Singakhuluma sithi females who want that.
Yeah,
Because
you
it
can
makes
get
sense. Females who want that die lonely, bakhula bebodwa.
Name those points.
I mean, it's important for guys ukuthi they understand the female dynamic before beyongena emshadweni. So yikho ngithi ungangibheka bengathi people should not get married until they have found themselves. They bala befuna ukuba khona bona, and usually that happens after age 30-35. So when I say people should get married after 30-35, ungangibheka.
Yes, hence I said I don't mix with 20s, 30s, 30s.
So before we wrap this one up, Amanda is willing to share a husband.
Linda,
But now,
don't look down
can a husband choose? Ukuthi lalela Amanda, this is the person I want to bring into our family,
Yes.
or you are choosing for that for your husband.
Look, listen, I can choose, he can choose, because at the end of the
Okay.
day, it's not like I want to control the relationship. That relationship, ekugcineni kuzobe yabo, kuzobe ngayona eyam nabo. As much as
Okay.
sobe sewumndeni,
Yes.
but also it's not ukuthi ngifuna ukuyi-control. I don't want to waste my time trying to control the relationship, because at the end of the day, I don't question what I have with him. I know my place with him. I know
Yeah.
where I stand with my husband, and I'm satisfied. I'm okay with that.
You're not gonna feel ukuthi your husband
Usathanda omunye umuntu kakhulu.
usethanda omunye umuntu okushuthi mina angimgculisi enough.
I don't think ukuthi bengingathi mina I'm okay with him having isithembu if bengazi ukuthi umuntu kanjalo, but because I know ukuthi uyindoda ephelele engakwazi ukusimela isithembu.
Man, I want to go in them. Again, I'm embracing you, very powerful view. In my experience, in my career, I've had women coming in. Bazongi explainela the essence of their spiritual affinity and who they are and what that means to them. I'm going to be very specific. 8 women have seen me bethi baphehla igobongo elimhlophe.
Okay.
Right. They explained to me ukuthi lisho ukuthini igobongo elimhlophe. And what I found very interesting, Mona, there was no contradiction. Now, these are different women from different walks of life.
Okay.
Now, kodwa ngathola something very, very fascinating. Bonke bathi they are on the verge, according to a dictate of their guides.
Okay.
Of their guides. Ukuthi they must go out and look for a secondary or auxiliary mother. Ngizoyisho ngesizulu umamncane, not umnakwabo. You know that. And
So umuphehla igobongo elimhlophe, it means
kusho ukuthi yena usebusisiwe.
okay.
Athi ke amanono manje akalethe umuntu abazobambisana ngoba kune position ekufanele yena I assume.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Then you get umamncane will come into the space, look after the children, work. Abe i-guide ezodictator imatriarch uAmanda ukuthi these are things that you need to accomplish within the space. So it has nothing to do with control. So here's something that I found very interesting. I want to share with this Amanda. So bethi-ke uma efika lo mntwana izinhlanhla azoqala abe nazo nempumelelo is because of the blessings that have been bestowed upon you.
Wow. Nice, powerful.
So
Is that what
and
you're
he
doing?
mentioned
Is that
it because I'm a bit annoyed by social paranoia that comes with women who claim religious, not spiritual. Religious, finished. No, the Bible says when the prophets in the Bible are all peppered with polygamous environment and states. So I'm saying, I'm now understanding. I'm full content. I know where Amanda comes from. That's arrogant. But at least Amanda has just opened a powerful understanding in me.
Oh, for someone who's sitting at home, umbuzo anawo uthi kwi-relationship engikuyona, do I want to share in or not? And speak about sharing also, there's another twist in it. Khona bathi, I don't mind sharing mengu number 2. I don't mind sharing mengu number 1. Because where do you see yourself sharing? But it will be interesting to find out where do you see yourself? Do you want to share or not? And if you do want to share, ufuna share as umamkhulu noma ufuna uba umamncane in that relationship. Let's leave it there for now, guys. Surely, if it's good for a guy to share 2 or 3 or 4 women, I'm sure it's the same thing that it would apply to a woman can share 2 or 3 guys. Umuntu wesilisa nje. Umuntu wesilisa babundabe. We as a human being, because if umuntu wesifazane ekwazi ukuvuma ukuthi mina I'm willing to share, surely for umuntu wesilisa na ngavuma ukushare.
The sacredness of a woman's womb is at the point of contention here. The woman's womb is the temple around which her progeny, her desires, her wishes, and her destiny is signatured. A woman, by her nature, she prefers a unity of self. In other words, there must be one man who's going to deposit. A baby comes through, and a baby is born into the world.
Yeah.
Tina Matota, we pride ourselves by our nature in raising a child who is affiliated to your destiny and your identity. And men have never, since time immemorial, conceived the whole idea. There's an element of deviousness which tends to be devious even from the spiritual essence, from the whole idea of a man, of a woman, of a man sharing other women. It's close to prostitution on the extreme right, and at the same time, it can conjure up very disturbing images of a society that has lost itself. Well, it's easy to club up this into very fancy feministic views of yes, but it becomes an argument and a debate. It does not offer us the reality. There's something called sperm counting. Sperm counting has got 2 definitions. Clinically, it refers to the inability of a man to have a good sperm that can produce a child.
Yeah.
But at a spiritual level, sperm count refers to the ability of a man to protect, to guide, and raise a family of a similar identity, so that his generation can be lined up in one similar family tree.
I've been watching lots of Lion's Den and so on.
Yes.
Uboni ibubesi, the kosha,
Young. Yes. They actually can kill them, in fact, yeah.
Yes.
But you know why they do that? There's a secret. It's because DNA Mapubes is very critical. You can't have a young lion sleeping with his mother because it's going to create weak lions. A lion sleeping with his sisters is going to create a very dangerous genome which cannot fit into the strength and the power of lionhood. So what do? They will expel them up to 40 kilometers away from the source. Now, so that the young man strays. And the young man will come across young maidens who will then absorb him. But there's something painful. You might find that somebody had to die in the den of lions for this young man to be given a space, because he comes from a different head. Therefore, he suits the entourage of women. So is man's mind towards progeny, giving birth, and sexual prowess.
Bohlana nomuntu right now bese uyamshela bese tshela ngoboyfriend. We interested in boyfriend?
No.
Okay. Isikhathi ungekho interested in boyfriend ayithi ufuna ukekezi?
Yes.
Uthola ukekezi wenzeni? Ethi usherishe?
Uyasherisha immediately.
Ngiyabonga ngithi kuyikho ngithi it depends. Ukuthi
But now,
nisherishe. Hayi uzofuna
now, now me, you know, Muntu, you come to me and you say, uzongishare. and I am letting him know ukuthi khona ubhuti ofikile uzongishela.
Right.
Ngicabanga ukumnikeza ithuba.
Bakhona abavumayo inhloko ethize yama males avumayo, but i-majority of males won't do it. Ngizokuchaza ukuthi
Wena-ke would you do it?
Mina won't.
Why?
Mina into ezongenza ukuthi ngakwenzi lokho because I don't have time for games. Basically, I don't have time for games. Yes.
Bazovuma aqinisile khona icategory. That's where the concept of sperm counting comes from.
I'm sure that's a pussified.
Yes. Khona uzovuma.
Khona
uzovuma. Hayi ngoba interested.
Ngizama ukuchaza kona.
Uyashayina,
ngizwile ngisena.
He's willing to show you.
Not someone who you want to wife up.
Lento
zama ukuchaza. Ngiqalela yes, you can share. Kodwa hayi umuntu ozomwife up.
That's such a selfish thing to do though.
No, it's not a selfish thing to do. Ukhumbula ukuthi orishwanga wena uvula imlenze. Ujabulile sikathi ukwenza ngithi. So it wasn't selfish, ubenefitile ngabenefit. Unje phela sikhuluma nge-outcome ekude ye-relationship. Ile nto engizama ukuchazela yona ukuthi we guys control the relationship. You guys control the sex. Thina sizoyincenga i-sex size siyithole, but we won't guarantee the relationship.
It doesn't necessarily mean ukuthi because unjabulo ufike kusisi wamthole nomuntu. Yes unjabulo ngenzeka ukuthi afike kusisi ngoba efuna ikhekhezi alithole. Angithi useshilo ukuthi akazwani nama games nokushare. Uthola ukuthi unjabulo now is going to fall in love with the girl, and then he will say ngicela ushiye lo umuntu wakho. So kokunye thina siyibuka singayibuka ngendlela. Yes, singayibuka ngendlela ukuthi ayibo kusho ukuthi uzomyuza, but unjabulo akasho ukuthi ngiyobe sengiyamshiya. Mhlambe unjabulo ngapropose ukuthi akahlukana nalomuntu wakho, but if ungahlukana nalo muntu wakho ngcono siyeke.
We made psychological we call that desperation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bese iba nayo i-problem that intro longena kwakho kanjalo kwi relationship yowa lomunye umuntu ungene unomuntu izocause problem kwi relationship yakho ongoing ngoba manje sengikiyekisile lo muntu angithi sengiyekisile lo muntu but deep down usungangeka nawo ngendlela omyeke ngayo lo yana
10,000.
Let me tell you something.
ngizama ukuchazela ukuthi i-psyche yama guys injani.
Story engisaziyo esiqiniso futhi kukhona i-couple that I know they are married today. Usisi waye usafuna ukubeka not usejona into ethize kodwa nabantu abathize lento enziwayo namhlanje, you understand le yogeli yanamhlanje yokuthi yabo bayaziphilela. So make afika uguy lento yokuthi umuntu nihlangane naye ngumuntu.
There is evidence of amadoda who will, for instance, the wife actually with a procurement manager of a company. And there's a procurement manager, he did up to 44 million.
No, ufuni
manager, procurement manager, enough money, reward.
Ifuni kekezi. Kenze.
So, uthola ukuthi unkosikazi wakho is delivering ikhekhe procurement guy. But ngala amatenda and all other projects I have. Then is it procurement manager no? Phela umyeni wakhe imoto kona ngayibona into yethu. Uthola ukuthi unfortunate indot yazi ukuthi njoba si stand up sihlonishwa sihamba ngeimoto egcwele igceke unkosikazi sleeping somewhere.
Ngicela ukufaka ipause kancane qhubeka. Yikho ke uyakhumbula ngibuze ngithi uyakhumbula isikhathi sikhuluma kulenye show ekudala ufika kule ngithi labantu laba obafuna ile list oyibalile bazobukela ishow, labo bantu ababafuni umuntu ow's there, akamfuni umuntu osebenzayo ngoba umuntu osebenzayo uzowenza lento le imali ekhanda lethu sinaleyo nto. ayithi manje ufike kwami mina there ngi manager kuphi nakuphi, wena ngifuna ukuba iboss ekhaya bengifika ngoba wena boyosebenza lapha la usebenza khona ayithi unenye iboss ungene kwi-frame yomunye umuntu uzwa yena sizihleli la ekhaya wena uzofona la yadingeka nini ucontrol isikhathi sala ekhaya. That's why most of the time you find males that have made it bengafuni ukuthi usebenze
anywhere else.
Then what is going to happen? Ngesikhathi now konjalo bengifuna iqedeke yabo wayishiya kamnandi ngesikhathi esefona procurement manager ethi mfethu asihlangane hemisphere. I just want to give you this paper kanje ngikusayinise because 7 o'clock I've got a meeting. Mina bese nginentombi emlazi u-18 the candy shop.
Yes.
So there's a candy shop.
Candy shop.
Candy shop.
Then we pay
It's sexual anger. Ne-sexual rage engiyakuyenza ngayo izogcwalisela into esimple kabi ebuhlungu engizoyisho on air ukuthi umkami vele ngiyazi ngadliwa somewhere. So ucandy shop wami ngizomshaya ngesex yomhlaba ingane izidideka ifuna ukubaleka kubo iyona icabanga ukuthi isiquality sex kanti mina ngizokhiphela i-rage. Yeah.
Mina into engi-encourage kakhulu ke-groupini yethu ukuthi abantu be-divorce.
But now my question is,
Why
when is it okay for you to have another partner, whether you intend to or not, and yet you deprive me because you reject it? Yes, but you deprive me of saying, which I am giving you that option for you to also have it.
Good,
Don't say it's nature's
cousin. Iyona i-problem nini nayo as females nini nayo bengisho njalo it's not coming from rage or anger or anything ilento yokuba equal nokuthi sizama ukuthi sibe equal nga anything akukho la akukho la a male and female in nature ku equal khona except for humans. Which species la emhlabeni esiphilayo esikhona esisurvivayo la kune equality khona la yonke species senza i-female yakhona yenza exactly njenge-male kanjalo ayikho i-hierarchy akukho ukuthi omunye wenza okunye because udominant omunye usubmissive ngoba ngokwe-nature god yes leyo philo lo phefumula yona manje ukuthi imbambo zakho ama-lungs akho efutheka evaleke ngikhuluma ngaleyo nature leyo. I'm progressing. I'm talking about nature. Wait. And let me explain to you. Wait. Yes.
Zama, I say be careful. As we progress in nature, must not try to reinvent nature.
Yes. We're not, but we're trying
we
to.
are.
That is what you are doing.
The next thing is to
men don't want to change.
No, men don't. Okay, uyangikhaza besikhuluma awuzibeke kanje asibeke women khona ama males asherishayo asibala ama pros okusherisha asivesane sibale lokho ama advantages okusherisha asivesane asibala what are the advantages okusherisha a woman asibala.
Can I just make for a guy before Zama pendulum? Can I just make this simple? Imagine if you're not using a condom and we are sherisha. A month later you miss your periods when you got two guys in your space and bayaqova abadlalisi uyawuteacher.
That is why I'm a single
the thing is, you can't
my question is
behalf.
No.
Right now you're thinking about
I'm not thinking on your behalf, it's my behalf.
This is me talking.
Every time she spends some kuwena, I have to talk on my behalf.
Exactly.
So you just saying we're having sex, unprotected sex, so meet. So that is one kuluma. We're not thinking game.
But we haven't come to a point of saying, when you have sex, this is what's going to happen, or this is what's going to happen. I'm talking about.
Guys think like that. No, you can't say that. When you say as a guy,
you're not willing to be.
Now, that could happen to anyone. That could happen to side chick or anything.
No,
that can happen to anyone. My point is, let's say Minamuzam. And I have a boyfriend, I'm saying, you're fulfilling me in these areas. But I also have this that I like. And now Spanbani fulfills that. Is it okay for me to come in and say, so we're opening that conversation?
Yes, you are not serious.
It's very important to yes. It's very important to
us women, we are by nature, we are emotional beings. So akuzivumeli ukuthi sibe nabantu ababili.
No,
share wena usukhuluma ngokucheat. Share sikhuluma indaba yokuthi ube nabantu ababili ophilisana nabo. Also, i-sex yes, naturally thina sama emotional beings. Shiya indaba ukuthi uyacheat ungaziwa. But ngeke ngize ngikwazi ukuhlalela ukuthi ukhona umuntu osizofika afike. And thina mengithi emotional beings, even uhusband umuntu oshade naye, uthi maniqeda ukuthi nibe intimate, you still want to cuddle, you want to hold. So uzofika umuntu lo afike enze lento yakhe ahambe. Mase kufika nomunye futhi uzofika ulinda la kumina asukuma ahambe. Mase kufika unjabula fake asukuma ahambe nanokuthi also realistically thina we are collectors. We are collectors thina naturally, you understand? So when you collect wonke lama sperms uyasicabangela isimo sakho, you understand?
Ukhumbule wena manje yazi wenzani? When you are applying i-brain kulento ekhulumayo, but ngokwe-nature wena ufuna umzimba wakho ufuna wenza. Guys sitting at home, don't even consider, don't even think about it. Don't